Could have just covered c7 some other way, like drop somewhere, but anyway, king f7, he took the queen, rook takes, and pawn at e5.
Okay, so just to say I'm streaming this from the house Discord. I'm just going to quickly just play through the first few moves, if that's okay. Okay, I could. So what do we got? We have a d4, d5, and VariantsOnly is coming in on e6. Oof. Okay, yeah, so I'm up to the live position very rapidly.
Good. So black played knight b4, and now white takes on f6. Okay, there's a check on c2, but just king f1, and black is busted. Okay, that's why he resigns.
So in the final position, say that again. In the final position, if
I mean, let's say g takes, then knight at h6, I guess, and if bishop takes, then knight at e5 was probably possible.
or just taking the bishop, probably, yeah.
Yeah, that works too. I mean, there are many ways. And now we got these two knights with d5. This is quite common. Vishy takes and drops the knight on e3. This is very solid. So black has few squares to put the queen. Queen a5, queen h5, queen d6. Sometimes even queen d8.
Yeah, when I first played this, I think it was the old Stockfish used to recommend queen d7 for some reason, which looked weird because it blocks in your own bishop. So back when I was a 1900, that's what I used to play. But I think queen d8 just seems like the simplest. But it clearly is not you can't play for any. You're just playing for a game with queen d8. I mean, at least with queen a5, you're playing for something. Like you're trying to stop the d pawn advancing. You're trying to keep some activity. So Jasugi is in house party, GSVC is in house party, Katask is in house party, Oppa is in house party. So we have lots of strong people in chat, although muted.
And Vishy plays bishop c4, so maybe thinking about some sacrifices, but VariantsOnly stops that by placing the knight, which hits the bishop. Okay, bishop is covered, but also covers f7. Okay, white castle. So now you could take on f3 or you could take on c4. Okay, I don't like taking on c4 because the knight takes and it's attacking our queen.
Yep, and I don't like taking on c3 either because then white's getting an attack on f7. So they're both very unsatisfactory.
I mean, it's an attack, but the sack a piece. Okay, maybe it's good for white. Didn't look too scary. So he took on. No, he dropped a pawn on h3 that I like. Knight takes e5, knight takes e5, and bishop d5. Not really a fan of bishop d5. I mean, I guess he's just covering g2.
Yeah, I mean, black had lots of options. You could take on g2 and replace a pawn on h3. But yeah, probably a move like d4 is usually the best move in that kind of position for white, because white spends a lot of tempi moving that bishop around.
Yeah, now taking on g2 and maybe dropping a pawn on
h3 again.
e2.
It has to be close to winning here.
Already.
Knight takes g2 at e2.
Oh yeah, at e2. Wow, yeah.
Because even if you try to get to a piece on a pawn, there's a queen at g4.
Queen at g4 hits
hits everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, queen at g4 is
Wins the rook. We check.
Wow.
And yeah, even then you can start with. Okay, he drops the knight. Probably good idea to cover it e1.
So are we going to see queen takes d2?
I mean,
No,
We're
there's
not.
no rush.
We're
You're
not. We're
I
not.
like g5.
g5.
rook at g4. Threat was rook takes f4.
Okay, so he's
Oh,
got.
he does it anyway. Oh, it works, yeah.
Yeah, rook g1 is mate, whichever way he goes.
I mean, no rook in hand, but
Oh, so what was the mate in the final position? Because we used our rook.
I mean, he's just gonna take on e1.
Takes on e1,
I
knight.
don't think he has mate, he just takes everything.
Yeah, either white takes on f3 or just goes king h1 right away, and then you take e1 and
So in the final
it
position,
all falls.
after king f1,
King f1 you can repeat once by taking on h2 and coming back.
oh yeah, you can take on h2. It likes queen takes pawn, by the way, in the final position after king f1. In the earlier position, g5. So GSVC was spot on. That was the the best move. Cool. And queen takes pawn is probably not very advisable then, because I thought this, but apparently not such a good idea. It's a good way of losing the game. Giving your opponent a counterattack. Okay, so back to the live action. Okay, so we've got a kind of repetition of this sort of stuff. Oh, no, so he went to f4, not to g5.
Yeah, and this time the bishop is locked on c8 behind the pawn on e6. So quite passive setup by black.
Yeah, Jasuki says, oh, this is just awful for black.
Yeah, I mean
it
looks very passive, and if you're going to take on e5 at any moment, then knight takes, and now your knight on h5 is hanging. So you have to spend another move to move it back.
Yeah.
It's just white has all the development, all the space.
Oh, hi there, Chuck Moulton, and thanks for the subscription for the 17th month in a row. I didn't even know I was streaming that long. Oof, all this pressure on f7. He can take, and then
He
take the
can
knight.
probably sack a no 7.
Yeah, sack in f7, then take the knight.
There he goes.
I don't know, it seems like a lot of pieces get traded. He would at least give a few checks.
Yeah. Oh, he goes with the queen first. Jasuki says I don't believe in this. Bughouse style attack.
I mean,
well,
yeah, if you block now,
it gets
then
taken, yeah.
knight at e5 is coming and knight takes g6.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't block. So you have to just back off. But then knight g6 anyway is kind of cute.
Yeah, g6 are like better than f7. If f7, then I guess you can just drop a bishop too.
Yeah, this is going to be a kill because you're going to get a pawn on h7.
Yeah. And you kind of have to take. Now just, yeah, pawn at h7. You have to protect the knight.
He's thinking pawn or bishop.
Is there anything else?
Goes for pawn. Bishop f7 now, then what? Is there any way of deflecting the bishop? Okay, so he gets a knight in hand. Can he do something exciting with it? He could. So the only way of defending the bishop is with knights on f6 or h6. So is there anything sneaky he can do to stop those defenders?
I think you just go bishop h7 now, and
takes
you
g6.
repeat until you get a knight in hand, and then you put one knight on h7 and other on e5 to force the king to e8, and then you take on g8. So now you take and drop another one, and then you take that one, and then knight at h7.
Ah, and you got two knights. Yes, that's true. That's nice. Although he'll have a bishop defending, but yeah, it'll be too late. So the king.
Yeah,
king
bishop
is,
Just
will
make a draw.
king
bishop
is,
will
Just
be
make a draw.
undefended.
yeah, so the king will go to e8 with the bishop defending on g8 at the end of that line.
Is he seriously gonna make a draw?
See, on lichess,
He has knight e5 here.
on lichess it isn't a draw though. So.
Is it a draw? I don't think so.
On
He will.
yeah, on lichess you have to repeat
Oh,
the same.
he runs out of bishops.
Yeah,
To make a draw.
yeah, exactly. He's actually
Yeah.
he's actually been getting rid of his bishops. Oh, so you didn't do what you said. Bishop takes knight.
This works too. I mean, you can still take. He's gonna play pawn at f7 or bishop at. So now you can just take, and then this will be my threat if you take.
Yeah, knight to h7. FischyVishy was in the comments saying this is a very pleasurable experience out of 10. Sarcasm. Just
Oh, he's streaming this.
getting recycled on his back right. So let's see who's streaming this, because I was wondering if Jan might also be streaming it. So we'd have 3 streams. So Clearcast is playing the shield, FischyVishy is streaming it, and Jan is watching. Lots of names we recognise in the chat. Something pretentious even is watching this.
Yeah, he's sharing the voice as well.
Oh, he is. Okay, cool.
Hello.
Hi there.
I'm just
Hi.
listening. I don't know enough to actually say anything.
Yeah, it's cool to see you following Crazyhouse.
Fine. Okay, pawn d4, hitting the knight, and well, I guess you can go to c4. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Now you have a knight in hand. g2 is undefended, but
oh dear. That's sort of desperate measures if you have to go bishop f1.
I don't think it's as bad for white as it looks.
It's just because white is white.
I thought he was gonna play pawn at e2 and knight at b1.
Yeah, so white can get away with it just for being white, but it's kind of sad. Knight at b1.
No. If he had to use his pawn and knight, then I don't like it at all.
Yeah. That's catastrophic. Knight at b1.
Yeah, he could have at least tried to keep the pawn in hand and claim that that was his advantage, but maybe he just couldn't.
Okay, so what's happening here? I'm not... Okay, this is...
black pushes d3, hoping that white will take, but I think taking e5 looks...
Yeah, he
well,
has
he's
to
gonna take
on
with the
e5,
queen.
no?
Yeah.
No, pawn at e3. No, he doesn't have a pawn for e3.
Queen g4 or queen e2? Queen e2, knight will jump in. Okay, queen f3, kind of pinning the knight. So knight d4, queen takes b7. Pawn at f4, forking the knights. Kind of feels like, because black hasn't played e6 yet, there might be some ideas for white to exploit it, but I don't really see any.
So Dasugi had the idea...
Yasugi suggested bishop a6.
Oh, bishop a6.
I was considering d4 only, but looks bad.
That's quite cool, actually, bishop a6.
I said d4 looks bad, and 5 seconds later Yasugi says d4 interesting.
So what's the idea if d4 just taking d4? Queen? Oh, you just... Yeah, then
No, just try to develop.
yeah.
Like knight takes d4, queen takes b7, and pretend you have some counterplay.
Yeah.
So knight h3 was played, f takes g3, h takes g3. Probably he's going to drop the knight to attack the queen, I would think. No, he wants to trap the queen by keeping the knight in hand.
No. Now it's maybe time for pawn at d7 and then take on f7. He needs some threat at least.
Ooh, nice,
Yeah.
nice idea.
You could do that.
Yeah. Time is low though for Fishy. Uh-oh.
Okay, plays queen f4. Ooh, and long castle. Okay, getting rid of the d7 weakness.
Yeah, I think White's suddenly looking okay. This is the thing about Crazyhouse, it just turns so quickly. So queen at a8 is a threat. It's a good threat after a queen trade. I mean, knight b4 is a kind of crazy looking move, but it's sort of just so you defend the pawn with the bishop, and maybe you go knight at d3, picking up the queen after a trade. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Feels a bit too much.
Feels too loose. Okay. Oh, this seems to do some of the same things, but hang on, did White have queen takes queen there or not? Maybe not.
Wait, how is this not made for that?
It should be. You can take c7 next. So maybe king d6 now.
Okay, Katas says mate in 3. Oh, b4, king d6, queen d5.
Oh.
If he goes to d4, we mate by assumption.
Okay, he sees it. Nice.
Okay, so FischyVishy takes the game, 3 games to 1. So what's the best line here? So I was thinking takes here, takes here. Yeah, so 8 takes b7 was first, is quite good. And then it's force mate. Okay, pretty nice. And if king goes to d6, of course, it's also force mate. Yeah. Okay, cool.
And now bishop g5 again. So the same line than from the first game, except this time he keeps the bishop on c8 again, like on the third. So it's still something new. Knight ge2. Okay, going for f4, I could imagine. The problem is that black's bishop is on c8, so they don't have that many good developing moves anymore. Okay, that's probably why he goes for knight g4, making some trades.
And threatening knight takes f2.
Well, not really. I would play knight f4 maybe now, or maybe castle first and then knight f4.
Katas agrees with me.
Okay, bishop at c3. It defended f2, but also hit c7, and that's why bishop at a5 was played.
Jan says white has Yasa set up. Okay.
Yeah, he likes to put the knight on e2 for some strange reason. Now Vishy tries to open the center with e5. This looks kind of good, unless
This looks okay for black.
yeah. Now your bishop is
I don't
alive.
like the pawn on h3.
Well, it's stopping at h3 threats, but the knight on e2 was blocking queen's access to f3, so I think knight f4 was a good move. Now white is kind of threatening like pawn at g5 to hit the knight.
Yeah.
And the knight is defending d5, so that would be quite annoying. Maybe black can play pawn at g5.
Seems like a good prophylactic move.
Yeah.
How to defend against pawn at g5? Just play pawn at g5 yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Pawn at e5 is another move.
This still comes.
Because he's just gonna
Because it hits the queen.
take, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, if e7 was covered, then you could think of sacking, like taking on f2 and then recapturing on e7, but e7 isn't covered, so you probably have to take on f6, and oh, he doesn't even take back, just goes there. Nice. Okay, queen b6, hitting b7,
Could he
b5,
have
but
given the queen?
yeah, he could have for 2 pieces.
Uh-oh. Stuff is
Now
coming
the
in.
attack is coming.
Stuff is coming
Yeah,
in. So
just
what first? Probably
check.
at
I think
h6.
not at e7.
At h6 first. Just go straight in.
Okay, doesn't really matter, but I like not at e7 first to force the king on black square.
Yeah.
And then pawn at h6.
Yeah.
Because in some scenarios, they can defend e7, and then you don't have that motive anymore.
That's true.
Okay, he goes with pawn at f6.
It's pretty hard to defend. Maybe like knight to f5, for example. Something like this.
Maybe, yeah. If you have to take on g7 with the king, then it should be quite, very bad.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm thinking g6, but then all white needs is a pawn to mate, so.
Oh, we see it. And there's a pawn not hanging, so.
Yeah, okay, I would have preferred not at h6, because now maybe, okay, black can't play h6. If the rook was defended, he could have played h6.
It's all over.
Yeah.
Actually, was there a case for grabbing the pawn first? Immediately going bishop takes c7. No.
Finisher. What is this, like class 10 already?
Okay, +6 maybe. So we should, no. VariantsOnly changed his black opening and goes for Sicilian. Okay, white should just keep developing and they should have a pleasant position due to some c7 weaknesses maybe. Okay, don't play e5. Oh no. Free pawn. This happens quite a lot in chess as well.
FischyVishy is 2500 bullet. How?
Yeah, maybe it's just streaming or maybe he's nervous. You can play queen e2 now.
I mean, he should have played queen e2 at least to have something attacked on c7.
Yeah. So let's say queen e2, queen takes and bishop takes. Then
Yeah.
now that c7 is the threat. So black has to spend some time to fix it.
Yeah,
Okay,
Janus
bishop e.
suggesting queen d4 in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So
knight d3 also.
bishop e3, pawn at f4, knight at d3, and now queen sack. Okay, white's up. Well, kinda equal material, I would say. 2 pawns and piece for, but black has the initiative, so.
Well, if it weren't for the knight, bishop at f2 and knight at d4 is a mate threat.
Yeah, I think he's kinda threatening bishop at d2 now to win the queen, and then you should have mate attack. So bishop e2, making room for f1. Now I would maybe consider pawn at h3. And the idea, if g takes, then you can play pawn g2 first, attacking the rook, and if rook g1, then bishop on d2 forces the queen sack.
Uh-oh.
Could he have taken on d2?
For sure.
This is over.
Because black doesn't have a mate threat. f2 was covered by the knight, so he could have tried knight c7 and knight takes a8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now it feels all over.
Yeah.
He just moved the knight. Okay, king has to go to e3.
Yeah.
Otherwise it's mate in 1. Now, well, I think both knight at d5 and knight at f5 should mate.
Yeah. Knight. Yeah. I was thinking knight at f5 followed by knight c5. King takes knight. Queen e3. Okay, I'm not quite getting there. Somehow I'm not quite seeing it.
I mean, now just... Okay, maybe you need to calculate something. Well, not really.
Yeah, you could just pick up the queen.
Knight b2. No, you can do knight b2, c5, and d6 is mate.
What did you just do knight at c5, at e5, d6?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean c5 and d6 is mate.
Yes. And he's going down basically that route. Yeah.
Oh no.
And to be honest,
They're over.
I'm surprised he hadn't played it sooner, but maybe he was afraid of walking into prep. So Baku says that Chuck has a PhD in economics. Yeah, that's because, and he said you only learned that today. It's because when you last knew Chuck, he didn't have a PhD in economics. He gained the PhD, I think, since you were last active on Lichess.
Okay, this looks one of those good rovers where black just makes normal looking moves, but they end up having some problems. Okay, bishop at d4 hits the knight, so knight goes to g6. Now you could take on f6, but don't really like it. After g takes, you don't have much, and your knight is hanging, so maybe just develop.
Yep. So Baku is also asking who's talking, and so it's Mixu talking, and also GSVC. And we've got a dozen people here so I'm streaming from House Party.
Yeah, hello Bakus.
And yeah, everyone's here to listen to Mixu basically.
So now black is thinking what to do. I guess queenside castle is one option. H6 you could play to hit the knight, but then he's gonna sack on f7, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
Takes, and then take on d5.
Bishop at h5 is
Oh, no.
usually annoying for white here.
Yeah, I don't know if the sack is good though, because the queen on f7 defends d5.
Yeah, he goes for
It's also
bishop
interesting.
at b4.
Especially going to go pawn hunting. Seems.
Taking on c3 and taking on a4.
Yeah.
Okay, white took on f6 and then took on e4, so got 2 pawns for a piece. And is now hitting f6, so bishop e7. Now maybe not at h5 to put more pressure on f6.
Yeah, so the problem with black's position is g7. The problem with white's position is the sort of the undeveloped pieces on the queen side, the bishop, just all sort of. So white is playing kind of a piece down from the bishop, but black's got weaknesses.
Yeah, I'd say white is better.
Yeah.
Despite being down material.
Yeah, the rook on g3, king is very safe. Really.
Yeah. So pawn at f7. Trick being that if queen takes, then now at g7.
Yes, it's protected.
We'll pick up the queen. So he ignores it. Goes bishop at d5 instead. So if f takes g6, I think he's gonna take back. Because if he takes on e4, then f7 falls with check. Okay, pawn at e6 instead, and now he's thinking if bishop takes, then he's gonna give a check on c7, I'm pretty sure, and then take on e6 and try to attack the light squares. Or is there anything else than taking on e6?
White might be running out of pieces.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was.
Yeah, now the knight is hanging.
Yeah, that's the photo then.
He's gonna take g6, I guess.
G6.
Yeah.
Does that work at all?
I mean,
But at least he would be safe.
yeah, the bishop on h3 is a good defender.
I mean, if he just runs out of pieces here, he would just lose slowly.
Yeah, so we think black didn't play queen takes e4, although it looked like a free knight because rook takes g6, ace takes g6, and knight at f7. King is forced to go to e8, and then knight takes h8.
Oh yeah, and Bakus is asking, is VariantsOnly Munir manager? Yes, absolutely.
There at the end, I could have played something like pawn at g4. Oh no, white had a pawn in hand, so maybe it's got something to.
I mean,
Okay, black running
would
low on
they?
time, so grabs. Oh, you're letting tempos, but yeah.
Yeah, he would like to drop something on d7 to cover the light squares, but there are no diagonals in hand. I think black wants to take on b4, and then okay, that covers e6 at least.
Yeah.
But now maybe take on b4 and drop the bishop on d5 to hit the queen and b7. Okay, he goes for d4 instead. Bishop goes back. Okay, now there is a discovery with check.
That is not pleasant. And now e6 is covered.
I guess he just takes the rook or drops a pawn first. Yeah, the problem is white's very safe. It will take many moves from black to have any threats. And he flags.
Yes, I guess VariantsOnly just made it a difficult position to play. So
Yeah. Yeah, okay, the final position was quite... Yeah, because rook at b8 is now the threat. Like you just make a queen move, then rook at b8 is made in one. Because no blockers.
yeah, so even Stockfish only says
And
sort of like -3, for
yeah,
example, on move 23, stuff like this. There's nothing definitive.
and looks like this was the last game.
So well played from VariantsOnly, says Jan in the chat. Indeed, congratulations, he advances to round 3. Yeah, so running out of pieces, but yeah, Engine still quite likes, well, still thinks it's fairly even, but it's just quite hard to play. So apparently rook at a6 is a critical mistake. Hard.
Yeah, he was just trying to cover e6, I think.
Yeah.
Like, you'd like to play pawn d7 or bishop at d7 there, but he didn't have them.
Yep. So that's apparently the issue. Okay, so that seems to be it. Jan Lee is off to work. Cool. Okay, so I'll end the stream. Yeah, thanks again, Mixu, the finisher, and GSVC for joining in the commentary. Well, basically doing the commentary. I didn't say anything.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, bye guys.